And I have to tell you, this next speaker, way back when I first attended my very first Modere event, I didn't know anybody. I had just resigned a leadership position at another company, and with the educated risk that I was making a good decision that was going to be for the best benefit of my people that I was partnered with and for those that I looked forward to partnering with in the future. I literally walked into this event with only a handful of people that came with me. I was brand new, just like them, and I met this guy. I saw this guy named David Ciemny, had no idea what a legend he was in this company, and I'll never forget the way I felt when he hopped on stage to connect with leadership. And I'll tell you what, that energy that I was just sharing about, that energy of certainty, I don't know that I've ever heard anybody in the entire company have that level of confidence, of certainty, and be able to transfer that to the entire social marketer population, to all of you that may not be social marketers, that you're just maybe taking a listen or taking a look at Modere. You are in for such a treat. I said to myself, this guy is going to become one of my best friends. This guy he's going to know me, and we're going to be buddies. He didn't even know who I was. But I'll never forget the way I felt when he spoke. David Ciemny, the captain of collagen, the godfather, gangster, been here with us since the beginning. Guys, if you ever doubted what we've got in our hands, that's about to change really, really fast. And if you're brand new, you may not need anything else after this. David, get on in here. Tell them a little bit about yourself, and I want you to jump right into your conversation about treating this not like a hobby, but the importance of treating it like a dang professional. Get on in here, bud. How are you?
I'm amazing, Super Cooper. Your check is in the mail for that incredible introduction. Thank you so much. I'm gonna take you on the road, and so you now have a new side gig doing introductions because you're amazing. You're a natural, and there's a reason why people love your energy, because energy is contagious. You can write that down. Energy is everything. Everything. So I appreciate you and your warm vibes, and Shalga for your awesome story. As a redhead, I love your accent. I want to thank the MLife team for having me. Jennifer, I look forward to hearing your story. For those that don't know me, I'll give you the 2-minute clip version. I was 17 years old, growing up in a place called Thousand Oaks, California. I had worked my way all the way up in my high school job at Pier 1 Imports to assistant manager, $7.25 an hour. And I started a band, and I was having a blast. And then in walks a guy to Pier 1 Imports one evening to buy a rug. Turns out this guy produced Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album. He was a Grammy winner, and I had just played my first show in Simi Valley, California. And lo and behold, he was starting a record company. So by networking in my teenage years, I landed a record deal, got to tour the country all over for 5 years. I was in Rolling Stone, on MTV. I got to open for Metallica. The problem with that is our album went lead. we never broke through. It sounds good on paper, and I look good with long hair, but at the end of the day, my band broke up, and I had to kind of pivot, find another profession. I ended up with John Tesh, the host of Entertainment Tonight, and went on the road, worked my way up in the music industry. I became a tour manager, so if I couldn't be on stage, I would be backstage, and I ended up working for bands like Lifehouse and Lauryn Hill, Rihanna, pop stars. My big claim to fame is Lady Gaga, of course. But in 2009, my first boy was born, and I don't know if you guys have kids, but man, something happened when that first boy was born, and my life changed. I thought about camping and being a little league coach, and I thought about how much money I was going to have to make, the pressure of being a dad to support our family. And around that time, when I was home to have our baby off the road with Lady Gaga, I met this woman named Ozma who was just starting a company, and I ended up becoming her third employee, and within a week she made me the vice president of her company. So we built that up into a collagen just empire. So I became kind of by default a collagen guru and a direct sales executive and professional. And so then in 2016, our company merged with Modere. I became a social marketer, and the rest is history. So that's been the best years of my life. I mean, since 2016, obviously since having a baby in 2009, having kids, but since 2016, it has been an absolutely incredible journey for me, and I'm blessed to just pay it forward now and help inspire others. And you know, I had two things I wanted to do today, and I wanted to take you guys through an exercise. But first, I wanted to share another story. I know in this business, we're storytellers, guys, and you heard Shaga's story, you know, saving her house. You hear Cooper's story. You hear stories. There's a reason why people love good stories, because we can't stand to not hear the end of the story, right? So it's like, that's why they leave you at the cliffhanger moment before they go to commercial. It's just human nature. So guys, get good at telling your story the way that we're all introducing ourselves on this. Not all of you, you know, have the same story, but that's what makes life beautiful. We all have different stories. But I just want to share a question for you, and I want you to just kind of repeat after me right now. I'm a professional, okay? Repeat after me. I'm a professional, ... My wife laughs because I use ... all day long for some reason. I can't just put a period or an exclamation mark. I got to put ... because there's more to the story. When someone asks you what you do, what is your answer? And I want you to say, I'm a professional ... Now, can that change? Yes. But for those of you that have a main job, right, your main thing is your main thing. Maybe you're a nurse. Maybe you're a realtor. You know, people come from all walks of life into our industry, right? And my definition has changed. I used to be a professional musician. I used to be a professional tour manager. Now I'm a professional collagen marketer. Now I'm a professional social media marketer. Now I'm a professional speaker, right? So I want you to put in Modere as something you do professionally. I don't know about you guys, right? But I didn't come into this business to be a hobby. You know what my hobby is? Coaching Little League Baseball. That's my hobby, right? So if somebody said to you, hey, David, are you ever going to coach the Dodgers? Well, you know what? I'm at a point in my life where I can probably safely say like three things. One, I'll probably never be president. Okay, I can admit that. Number two, I'll probably never coach the Dodgers or an MLB team. And number three, as much as I hate to say it, I'll probably never get to walk on the moon. Now, that's okay. I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm holding out hope, all right? But here's the deal. But what I do know is if somebody said to you, hey, David, do you ever think that you could make a living coaching baseball? I'll tell you right now, I'd probably be doing things a little bit different, right? I'd probably not be wasting time with some of the other things. If somebody said, hey, David, do you love baseball so much you want to go make a living at it? I say, okay, number one, I'm probably not going to be an MLB coach. That's fine. I may not even be a college coach, but you know what? I could probably make some good money coaching high school, maybe a travel ball team. But what would I be doing, right? I'd probably be studying. I'd be out there on the field. I'd be meeting with other pro coaches. I'd be asking to be an apprentice or an assistant coach. I'd get a mentor. I'd probably get a job as an assistant coach so I can be in the dugout more, you know, around my schedule. So guys, my question is how do you look at your Modere business? I mean, are you treating it as a business or a hobby? We know, you know, people like Eric Worre talk about this all the time. Eric Worre says, you know, success comes when you finally decide to be a permanent resident and not a tourist, right? How many of us are treating this? How many of us are treating this like a hobby? And so the thing is whether you want to make $500 or $50,000 a month, there's a certain thing you've got to do, which is go all in with whatever that all in looks to you. Gary Vee says it too. He says, you know, go all in on one or two things instead of being half-baked at 10. But so many people see the desperation of times. You know, your check goes down or the volume goes down. And then all of a sudden you see these leaders preaching multiple streams, and they're all doing that because they can. You know why they're doing that? Because they can? I'll tell you why. It's because they made their millions first or their hundreds of thousands first, and then they got into multiple streams, guys. That's the reality. So I just want to tell you a quick story. You know, I got married in 2005. I met my wife online, which was cool. That was the best $9.95 I ever spent. She's a hottie. Those of you that haven't met her, her name's Angela. She'll be at Long Beach at SRC. So I bought my first home in 2003. Maybe that's a coincidence. Like I bought my first home in 2003, then I got married in 05. But she didn't marry me for my home, guys. She already had her own home when we got married. She bought her first home at like 23 years old. But anyway, I sold my first house, right, when we got married because I moved in with my wife. And so I made a bunch of money on that because it's just how the timing of the market worked out. But anyway, I was working at a $3 billion multi-level marketing company as their director of events, and that was my corporate job. And my wife, I was on the corporate side, and my wife started talking about having a baby. And I'm like, okay, I had just made a bunch of money. My job was just a job. And I finally said, you know what? I want to go travel the world. And she's like, what do you mean? Like go to Asia for a month or something? I go, no, I want to quit my job, sell our house, and literally go travel the world. And long story short, that's what we did. Although we rented the house, we didn't sell it. I quit my job. I took all the money I made from that house, well, about half of it, and we went in 2006 and 2007 to 42 freaking countries, 72 flights, 6 months around the world, starting in Tokyo, going all over Asia, Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, China, Vietnam, everywhere, India, Maldives, Everest Base Camp, Nepal, Africa, South. We went literally all over the world, all over Africa, all the continents, Europe, everywhere. But people ask me all the time when they hear that story, they say, what was the most favorite place that you went to? And I have a few, but probably my number one is Egypt, guys. And Egypt is more than just the pyramids, guys. There's a river that a lot of you are living in. It's called the Nile. All right? No, the Nile River, guys, seriously. That's a bad joke. I'm here every Tuesday. The Nile is a river that is a lifeline of the country. In fact, it goes through 11 countries. And my wife and I, we went on the Nile. We took a traditional felucca boat sailing up the Nile, and then we went on an actual cruise ship for a week on the Nile, stopping at all the great stops and Aswan and Abu Simbel and all these places. But the thing about the Nile is it's one river, and there's a second river that's called the White Nile and the Blue Nile. So how many of you guys know that the Nile is not just one river? It's actually two. It's the White Nile and the Blue Nile, and they both run through all these countries. But here's the thing. There's a lot of tributaries that come off the river. But every river is like your business. Success is like your business. It's got one main thing. It keeps the main thing the main thing. In the Nile's case, you've got the White Nile, okay, and then the Blue Nile is the source of the most of the river. So it's like most of you in this industry have your main full-time jobs. Not all of us have the luxury, right, of doing this business as a full-time job. So the question is, are you keeping the main thing, or are you treating this like a little tributary, like a little stream, like a branch? See, the Nile goes 4,000 miles through 11 countries before it starts to branch out and go into the Mediterranean Sea for all the way from Lake Victoria. So I want you to get back to this idea in 2024 that you're a professional, that you're going to keep the main thing. It's okay if you have a job that pays your bills. But in the time that's left, that's the dream time. That's the miracle time. That's when you can, take care of the good life. GOOD, get out of debt, live the good life. That's where you create the dream money, is that part-time. And most of you on this call, I believe, are probably doing this part-time. If you're full-time, oh my gosh, no excuse. Treat this like a professional. So I want you to ask yourself this question. Am I a professional? And I want you to answer the question with, yes, I am a professional. And you could say marketer, social media marketer, college marketer, healthy living marketer, whatever that word is. I am a professional dream maker. But I want you to always use the word professional. 2024 is not a year to play small. 2024 is a year where, I don't know if you guys can feel it. For me, it's kind of one of those like make it or break it years, right? It's kind of one of those years where you're like, okay, can we all admit 2023 sucked? It really did. Like, it just was like, did that just happen to me? Because after 2020, we all kind of went through craziness. 2021 was like money grows on trees. Like 2022, it's like make a post and money pops into your inbox. Like none of us had to work. 2020 or 2022, then 2023, we all had to start working, and we realized, holy crap, I'm out of shape. I'm not really working that hard. Like I need to freaking get to work. And then we realized, ooh, you actually have to really work, not just say you're working, talk about working, cleaning your desk, you know, aim. No, you actually have to fire. You actually have to, you actually have to work like crazy. And so, guys, here we are in 2024. It's January. You all made your resolutions. You all got your one word. You all got, okay, focus. Okay, good. So now you all made your resolutions. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. Okay, forget all that. Make 2024 the year that you say to yourself every single day, I am a professional. I don't care if you do this business an hour a week. The shift that you are going to make in your mind, because your mind believes what you tell it. Your mind will believe you. Either you're lying or you're telling the truth or you're thinking about something, your mind's going to believe you. So you've got to wake up every day and say, I'm a professional. And what would a professional do? Would a professional, be just kind of goofing off and like scrolling the internet? No, a professional would be up in inboxes. Money's in the messenger, right? Are there things about my hobbies that I don't like? Yeah. As a coach, I hate a lot of the parents. I hate the armchair quarterbacks that are like, hey, you should have had them steal. I hate having to know all the rules, feeling like I got to know every single rule of Little League Baseball. I hate the criers. Oh, my gosh, that's the worst. Or worried about offending someone or someone saying, you're cheering too loud. I hate all that. But you know what? Nothing will make me give up my dream and happiness of being there watching my kid from the field and coaching my kid all the way growing up. Now is the last year of my 12-year-old or my 11-year-old, and then I only have one more kid, and then that's it. And for the rest of my life, I'm going to look back and say, I followed my dream. So don't stop making your dream a hobby and make your dream a professional, make yourself a professional, and wake up every day and do what professionals do. Thank you guys so much for having me. I love and appreciate all of you. I'm excited to do a keynote on Saturday at SRC and help share how to electrify your business and yourself. Coop, I love you. Melton, all you guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. And let's make 2024 the most amazing year where we all become professionals, no matter what our level of success or desire is. Thank you.
David, I literally about dropped my phone 5 times because it was so hot. You guys, I know that David had to jump off, but I tell you what, I don't know, gosh, do we even need to continue? And it's so exciting.